Hi guys, today we will be talking about stress, or the problems of stress, by myself, Duncan, and Gavin, who sadly isn't here with us right now. Um, First of all, what is stress? Stress is the arousal of one's mind and being in response to the demands made upon them. So pretty much what that means is, say, you are told to do a project in a given amount of time. You're already thinking, oh God, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, and your mind starts to turn the cogs of thinking. Stress forces an organism to adapt and to adjust to a situation such as that. Like, oh hey, I need to get done in a certain amount of time, so you make intervals for it. And also, there are different types of stress, including frustration, daily hassles, and conflict. So, with that being said, let's move on to the next slide.
All right. So now we're going to talk about what causes stress. Stress can be caused by the weight of any hard work and sometimes by people. Frustration is the most commonly known source of stress, and it doesn't stop there. There are many ways/things to cause stress, and not just bad stress. Say, because there could be something could cause you to like just be stressful, and it could be really bad. Say you're crunching for a test, and it's stressing you out. That's stress because that doesn't really help you, and it can do bad things. But there's good stress, and we might just need that good stress sometimes. It will help you cope, and will help you just to like life better than what would that stress do.
Well, good stress is more motivational.
Yeah.
Good stress is more
Motivation.
motivational stress.
Yeah.
With that being said, let's move on to the next slide. Negative stress and or distress. This is linked to anxiety, intense pressure, and can have psychological and physical effects. Which this means is pretty much, say, psychological effects. You stress so much that you aren't able to get sleep. Sleep causes the inability to sleep causes those physical effects such as being tired, being cranky, bags under your eyes, such like that. And then it can dampen people's moods and impair their ability to experience any form of pleasure. And that means is pretty much you've been stressed before, feeling a very crappy mood, you've had work piled on you all day, and pretty much everything's just go, 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 and nothing is the way it should be for that moment. Distress can also harm the body as well.
So yeah, with that being said,
Now we're going next
to
slide.
good stress. Now, positive stress, aka eustress. Now, not all stress is bad. Stress can increase your sharpness of everyday life and your motivation, and can keep you alert and involved. Now, this kind of stress can be a sign that a person is either taking a challenge or reaching a goal.
Such as someone completing a project.
Like, for example, this. We had a week to do it. Now, this kind of stress is good because it
motivates.
Yeah, it motivates you to complete this goal, to complete the challenge, so you can feel good whenever you get a good grade on it. Now, what it means by alert and involved is that it's keeping you basically.
You stress so much of the bad outcome, you work harder to strive for the good outcome, so it keeps you aware and focused of what you're doing.
Thank you for helping me explain that.
You're welcome.
Now on to the next slide.
On to the next slide. Types of stressors. Now, what a stressor is it's something that is the main cause of stress, such as work. Work is a stressor. The event or situation that produces a stress is called a stressor, as I just said. Here's the thing. The stressor for one person may not be the same for a different human being. For one, could be a long bus ride. Another, it could be a loud drilling noise. For me, work couldn't be isn't a stressor. For Duncan, it could be. You never know.
Well, lots of work is a stressor for me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, when the stressors and stresses pile up on each other, we can reach a point where we have difficulty coping. And that usually leads to sleep deprivation and such like that, and mental breakdowns, such as we've probably all had at least one throughout our school career. Come on, be honest.
Yeah. All right.
All right. With that said, next slide.
Now, the products of stress. Stress can cause some good and bad effects on the body. Stress can cause headaches, but again, it can increase your sharpness and your motivation for your project. The big things that stress can cause is heart disease and cancer, and as we all know, that's terrible, and that we should be really careful.
That is only a few of the things that can come out of stress.
Yeah.
It is actually also proven that stress knocks off a few years of your life. If you are typically stressed, then
So
That
then
will
it's bad because stress can do really bad things to you. So it's terrible. It's honestly terrible.
with that being said, next slide. Frustration. One of the most common source of stress is frustration, or being blocked from an attainment, or being blocked from a goal. Examples can include being delayed, lacking money, or forgetting important things. So,
Which
like,
you've all done.
maybe you don't have the resources to do a certain project, and maybe you don't have the money to get those resources. That will stress you out in
Oh yeah.
a bad manner.
Yeah.
Bad manner.
And it's just
And that won't be fun.
we've all had that problem.
Many frustrations are minor. The more serious ones can be extremely stressful, say working for weeks on a project, but to only lose it and have to redo the whole thing again.
Now that has happened to several of us, including myself for one. I was working on a thing. I can't remember for what, but I was working on a project. And it's just I ended up losing it. I had lost my mind. I had a mental breakdown for it, but I was stressing out about it because I didn't know if I was going to get it done. But I ended up getting most of it done, and I got a decent grade for it.
And it pays out in the end.
Yeah.
All
Now-
right. Daily hassles.
Now on to daily hassles. These are the everyday frustrations we all experience, and they come in different forms, but they have one thing in common. They all create some form of stress. When daily hassles become severe or frequent enough, they can affect a person's well-being. Some common hassles or stressors include household hassles such as cooking, cleaning, shopping, basically everything that you do around the house to help can cause stress if you're in the time frame and you don't get it done. Health hassles are illness, anxiety about medical procedures like surgery or
Say going to the doctor. Some of us are afraid of needles.
yeah,
And some of us are afraid of anesthetic.
and then side effects of medication. Time hassles, being that there are too many things to do and very little time to even do them. And then inner,
Like a lot of high school projects.
the concern hassles such as feeling
Low self-esteem and loneliness. That can
Yeah.
also provide some inner bad stress, which isn't very fun.
No, it
All
isn't.
right, on to the next slide. Life changes. Stress can come from life changes. Stress can come from serious stuff like death in the family, serious illness, and even moving. And on another note, divorce. That's a major life change
oh yeah,
that causes most stress. Sadly, we do not have it on the slide, but from research, that is one of the most stressful situations a person can be put through because they are being parted from their spouse. Though
or
they do
children
go,
if they have any.
yes, though they do go from bad to worse in the end, and that is pretty good.
Yeah, and say,
So stresses always usually dissolve themselves.
and for example, when I moved from when I was going to Martin, when I was going to Martin Elementary, moving to Lanier, I was nervous because I had to lose all my friends, make new ones, and I didn't really know any people. So I ended up breaking down in hives from the amount of stress going through me. So it's not fun. It really isn't. Now on to conflict. Another source of stress, like we said before, is conflict. Being put in two or more directions by opposite motives. Conflict can be frustrating, especially when a person is faced with difficult decisions. Now, so we will have to go.
That is the end of
Yeah.
our presentation.
Yeah, conflict is
Hope you
just,
enjoyed.
it's terrible. That is the end. I hope you enjoy.
We're done?
Yep.
Thanks, mate. I'll save it.